My wife is pregnant with our first child, and her sister has hinted that she wants to sleep with me. How should I tell my wife? My name is Jason, and at 24, I consider myself incredibly fortunate. I met the love of my life, Emily, 3 years ago, and every day since then has been a testament to the power of love and commitment. Emily, also 24, is my rock, my confidant, and my best friend. Our journey together has been nothing short of extraordinary, filled with moments of joy, challenges, and unwavering support for each other. We first crossed paths at a mutual friend's birthday party. I still remember seeing her for the first time, her radiant smile lighting up the room. We spent the evening talking, laughing, and discovering a mutual passion for travel and adventure. It felt as though we had known each other for years. By the end of the night, I knew I wanted to see her again, and thankfully, she felt the same way. Our relationship blossomed quickly. We spent our weekends exploring new places, trying out new cuisines, and sharing our dreams and aspirations. Emily's warmth and kindness made everyone around her feel at ease, and I was no exception. She was studying to become a nurse, driven by a desire to help others, while I was working in software development, enjoying the challenges and creativity the field offered. After 2 years of dating, I proposed to Emily during a sunset hike, one of our favorite activities. The moment was perfect, and she said yes, tears of joy in her eyes. We married 6 months ago in a beautiful ceremony, surrounded by family and friends. Emily's younger sister, Sarah, who is 21, was her maid of honor. The bond between Emily and Sarah is incredibly strong. They have always been there for each other, sharing secrets, dreams, and an unbreakable sisterly love. Sarah, like Emily, is a wonderful person. She is currently in college pursuing a degree in psychology. With her bubbly personality and compassionate nature, she has always been the life of any family gathering. Growing up, the two sisters were inseparable. Their parents often joke that they share a secret language, a testament to their close-knit relationship. It was no surprise that Sarah played a significant role in our wedding, helping to ensure everything was perfect for her sister's big day. The wedding day was magical. Emily looked stunning in her white dress, her smile more radiant than ever. As we exchanged vows, promising to support and love each other through all of life's challenges, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The reception was filled with laughter, dancing, and heartfelt toasts. Sarah's speech brought everyone to tears as she reminisced about their childhood and expressed her happiness for us. Life after the wedding has been a blissful continuation of our journey together. We moved into a cozy apartment, decorated with mementos from our travels and our shared experiences. Emily's presence makes every day brighter. Her laughter is infectious, and her ability to find joy in the smallest things constantly amazes me. It was a sunny Saturday morning, and Emily had been feeling unusually tired and queasy for a few weeks. She had been brushing it off as stress from work, but there was a lingering suspicion that there might be something more. We decided to take a pregnancy test to put our minds at ease. I remember pacing around the living room, my heart racing with anticipation and nervousness. Emily came out of the bathroom, holding the test with trembling hands. She looked at me with wide, hopeful eyes, and then, with a tearful smile, she whispered, "Jason, it's positive. We're going to have a baby." The world seemed to stand still for a moment as the words sank in. I rushed to her side, wrapping her in a tight embrace. Tears of joy streamed down our faces as we held each other, overwhelmed with happiness. The realization that we were about to embark on this incredible journey together filled my heart with an indescribable sense of love and excitement. The next few days were a whirlwind of emotions and planning. We decided to share the news with our families during a Sunday dinner at Emily's parents' house. As we gathered around the dining table, I could barely contain my excitement. Emily and I exchanged a knowing glance, and she stood up, her voice trembling slightly as she spoke. "We have some exciting news to share with everyone," she began. The room fell silent, all eyes on her. "Jason and I are going to be parents. We're expecting a baby." For a moment, there was stunned silence, and then the room erupted in cheers and applause. Emily's mother burst into tears, hugging both of us tightly. Her father clapped me on the back, his eyes shining with pride. Sarah, Emily's younger sister, jumped up from her seat, squealing with delight. She rushed over to Emily, wrapping her arms around her sister and exclaiming, "I'm going to be an aunt. I can't believe it." The rest of the evening was filled with joyous celebration. We toasted to the future, shared stories and laughter, and basked in the collective happiness of our family. Emily and I couldn't stop smiling, our hands intertwined under the table. The love and support from our families meant the world to us, and it reinforced just how blessed we were to have such a strong network as we embarked on this new chapter of our lives. Over the following weeks, our excitement only grew. We started making plans for the nursery, picking out baby names, and reading every parenting book we could get our hands on. Each night, as we lay in bed, we would talk about our hopes and dreams for our child, imagining the life we would build together. Emily's eyes would light up as she talked about all the things she wanted to teach our baby, from baking cookies to exploring nature. Her enthusiasm was infectious, and it made me fall in love with her all over again. My love for Emily deepened with each passing day. Seeing her face light up as she felt the first fluttering movements of our baby made my heart swell with pride. I marveled at her strength and grace as she navigated the changes in her body, always with a smile and a kind word. I was in awe of her, and I was determined to support her every step of the way. We spent countless hours preparing for the arrival of our little one. Our weekends were filled with trips to baby stores, comparing cribs and car seats, and picking out tiny outfits. We painted the nursery together, choosing a soft, calming palette of blues and greens. Each stroke of the brush was a promise of the love and care we would pour into our child's life. We hung pictures of animals and nature on the walls, imagining the day our baby would gaze up at them with wonder. Our families were equally enthusiastic. Emily's parents offered to help with anything we needed, from babysitting to setting up the nursery. Sarah was particularly excited, often stopping by with baby books and tiny clothes she couldn't resist buying. Her excitement was contagious, and it warmed my heart to see how much she already loved our unborn child. As Emily's pregnancy progressed, I found myself more in awe of her than ever. Her strength, resilience, and unwavering positivity were inspiring. I made it my mission to be the best partner I could be, attending every doctor's appointment, cooking her favorite meals, and making sure she felt loved and supported. I knew this journey was as much about taking care of her as it was about preparing for our baby. One of my favorite moments was when we went for the first ultrasound. Seeing the tiny heartbeat flickering on the screen brought tears to my eyes. It was a tangible reminder of the life we had created together, a symbol of our love and commitment. I held Emily's hand tightly, both of us mesmerized by the sight of our baby. It was a moment of pure joy and connection, one that I would carry with me forever. It was a typical Monday morning, and I was sitting in my home office catching up on some work emails. The house was quiet except for the gentle hum of the air conditioner and the occasional sound of birds chirping outside. Emily had just left for her prenatal checkup, and I was planning to join her at the clinic later. My phone buzzed on the desk, breaking my concentration. I glanced at the screen and saw a message notification from Sarah, Emily's younger sister. I picked up my phone, smiling as I unlocked it. Sarah often texted me about random things like funny memes, family updates, or questions about Emily's preferences. But nothing could have prepared me for the text I was about to read. "Hey Jason," it began. "I know this might sound weird, but I just wanted to let you know that if you ever need someone to talk to, or, anything else during Emily's pregnancy, I'm here for you. I know it can be tough, and sometimes women get emotionally and physically distant, so I'm here to help you out sexually or emotionally anytime. Just think about it." I stared at the screen, my brain struggling to process the words. At first, I thought it must be some kind of joke, a terrible prank. I read the message again, hoping I had misunderstood. But there it was, plain as day. Sarah was offering herself to me in a way that was both shocking and utterly inappropriate. A wave of confusion and disbelief washed over me. How could Sarah, someone I considered almost like a sister, send such a message? My heart pounded in my chest, and my hands felt clammy as I set the phone down. I rubbed my temples, trying to make sense of the situation. Was this some twisted way of helping, or did she actually have feelings for me? I felt a mix of emotions swirling inside me. Anger, betrayal, confusion, and a deep sense of unease. My mind raced through 1,000 scenarios, each one more troubling than the last. I couldn't fathom what had led Sarah to think this was acceptable, or how she could be so willing to betray her sister, especially now when Emily needed support the most. The first thing that came to mind was Emily. She had always been incredibly close to Sarah. They shared everything, from childhood secrets to their dreams for the future. The bond they had was something I admired and respected. How could I tell Emily about this without shattering that bond? The thought of her pain and betrayal made my chest tighten with dread. I picked up my phone again, rereading the message, hoping I could find some hidden context that would make it all make sense, but it was as clear as it was disturbing. My immediate reaction was to delete it, pretend it never happened, but I knew that wasn't an option. This was something that needed to be addressed, no matter how uncomfortable or painful it might be. I decided to take a walk to clear my head. As I stepped outside, the warm sun and fresh air did little to calm my racing thoughts. I walked aimlessly, my mind consumed by the dilemma. If I told Emily, it would devastate her. She was already dealing with the physical and emotional challenges of pregnancy. Adding this betrayal to the mix felt cruel and unfair. But keeping it from her wasn't an option, either. I couldn't let her remain close to someone who would so easily undermine her trust. As I walked, I considered my options. I could confront Sarah directly, demanding an explanation and warning her to never approach me like that again. But what if she denied it or twisted the story? I needed to be careful to ensure that whatever happened next was handled with the utmost care and consideration for Emily's well-being. I sat down on a park bench, taking deep breaths to steady myself. I thought about calling a friend for advice, but dismissed the idea. This was too personal, too sensitive to involve anyone else. I needed to figure this out on my own. My priority was clear. I needed to protect Emily and our unborn child. But how to do that without causing more harm was the real challenge. The more I thought about it, the more I realized I had to talk to Sarah first. I needed to understand her motives, to make her see the gravity of her actions. Maybe she didn't fully grasp the impact of what she was suggesting. Perhaps there was a way to address this without destroying the relationship between the sisters. With a plan forming in my mind, I headed back home. The walk had helped clear my thoughts, but the knot of anxiety in my stomach remained. As I reached our front door, I took a deep breath and steeled myself for the confrontation. I typed out a message to Sarah, keeping it as neutral as possible. "Hey Sarah, can we talk? I got your message, and I think we need to clear some things up. Let's meet for coffee later today." I hit send and waited, my heart pounding. Within minutes, Sarah replied, agreeing to meet at a nearby cafe in an hour. I spent the next 60 minutes pacing the living room, rehearsing what I would say and trying to anticipate her reactions. My mind was a whirlwind of emotions, but I knew I had to stay calm and collected. At the cafe, I arrived early and chose a quiet corner table, away from prying eyes and ears. When Sarah walked in, she looked cheerful, almost oblivious to the storm her message had caused. She sat down across from me, her smile faltering slightly when she saw the seriousness in my expression. "Sarah, we need to talk about the message you sent me this morning." I began, my voice steady but firm. "I need to understand why you would say something like that." Her eyes widened, and she seemed to shrink into her seat. "Jason, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I thought you might need someone to talk to, and I didn't want you to feel alone." I shook my head, trying to keep my frustration in check. Offering to be there for emotional support is one thing, but what you suggested goes way beyond that. It's completely inappropriate, and it feels like a betrayal to Emily. Tears welled up in her eyes, and she looked down at her hands. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I thought I could help. Help by suggesting we sleep together?" I asked incredulously. "Sarah, this isn't just about me. It's about Emily too. How do you think she would feel if she knew?" Sarah's face crumpled, and she started to cry. "I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I care about you both so much, and I thought maybe I could be there for you in ways she can't right now." I sighed, feeling a mix of anger and pity. "Look, Sarah, I get that you care about us, but this isn't the way to show it. You need to understand that what you did was wrong. Emily is your sister, and she trusts you. We all need to support each other, especially now." Sarah nodded, wiping her tears. "You're right. I'm so sorry, Jason. I promise I won't ever say anything like that again. Please don't tell Emily. It would break her heart." I looked at her, struggling with my own emotions. "I'll think about it, but I can't promise anything. My first priority is Emily and our baby. You need to understand that." As I walked back home, my mind was still in turmoil. I had confronted Sarah, But the dilemma remained. Should I tell Emily and risk shattering her relationship with her sister, or should I keep it to myself and hope Sarah never crossed that line again? The weight of the decision pressed heavily on me, and I knew there was no easy answer. My love and dedication to Emily and our unborn child would guide me, but the path forward was fraught with uncertainty and pain.